thanks for joining me today as I'll be doing a Zombie Horde deck profile. This was a deck that I haven't done in a long time now. I used to do a deck profile once before, but that was about a year ago, so I figured that doing an update right now would be quite fun. But there's nothing else to really say about this deck, so let's get started. To begin with monsters, we're playing 2 copies here of Belladrock. Belladrock is one of our main boss monsters, one of the best boss monsters to ever come out of any structure deck. It's a really amazing card. The only thing is I wouldn't really play 3 of them because it does become cloggy, but at the same time it's kind of ironic, isn't it? It's one of the best boss monsters and yet you're only playing 2 of them in the deck, and it is recommended to do so because it would actually end up clogging the deck itself. However, given it is a zombie card, it is easy to actually revive and utilize its effect to the maximum, even though you're playing only 2 copies of it. Next, of course, we're playing 2 copies here of Necro World Banshee, also an important card to actually search out your field spell. Really good card, but of course 2 copies is more than what you would actually need. So with that being said, let's move on to the next card, which of course we're playing our 2 copies here of the Glow Up Bloom. It's the easiest way to bring out our Belladrock. Only 2 of these is more than enough to actually accomplish what you need. Some people don't even play 2 of them, some people actually play 1 of them, and that's okay as well. You could adjust the ratios however you like, and then you could also just add in 1 staple to inside your deck, but it doesn't really matter here because Glow Up Bloom at 2 is just a very nice card to have, and I think that with 2 copies of it, it really just complements the 2 copies of Belladrock that are already in the deck. But of course we have the key staples of the deck, that being Solitaire. I'm playing 3 copies of it. I have seen people play only 2 copies of it. That's okay as well, but I want to actually get to my uni zombie as quick as possible, and Solitaire does just that, to actually go into your uni zombie, which would most likely go into your synchro plays or whatever plays you actually need to do. However, with that being said, you're essentially playing 6 copies here of uni zombie, which is where it gets things started for the deck. You're meant to be ditching off the Mizuki to the graveyard to actually pull off some combos. So with that being said, I wanted to maximize it all here, but some people I've seen actually play 2 copies of Solitaire and 3 copies of uni zombie. Without a doubt, we can't actually deny the fact that uni zombie is definitely a must-have at 3, but Solitaire does have its viability in adjustments of ratio. Of course, we also can't forget about Mizuki. Mizuki I've also seen people play it too. I tend to disagree with that particular statement there because of the fact that I would always like to play 3 copies of Mizuki in most of my zombie decks, given that it's a free special summon for any of your monsters really that's already in the graveyard. So Mizuki is just such an important card that I don't think I would play any less than 3. To complement that, I would play the 1 copy of the Gozuki. Some people actually choose to play 2 copies of Mizuki and 2 copies of Gozuki. Like I said, I don't really agree with decreasing the number of Mizuki. However, that being said, increasing Gozuki to 2 copies is definitely okay as well as an option. It's a matter of how you actually organize your space. So for example, you could actually remove 1 copy of the Solitaire, or you could remove 1 copy of the Glow Up Bloom, and that would give you enough space to actually add in the 2nd copy of Gozuki. To facilitate my synchro plays, I wanted to actually also play Plague Spirit as zombie as well. Also a really nice card that just helps extend the board. And then we're also playing Fraulein. Fraulein is the only vampire card we're playing. Well, actually we have 1 more vampire card in the extra deck, but Fraulein is essentially like a pseudo-honest in your deck, I guess, for zombies, and it makes it really interesting with the different interactions you could actually go with here. Some people do play 2 of them, and you know, that again is also viable as well. I really love zombies for the fact that they're that flexible, that you could adjust the ratios to any way you want, and you don't really get to suffer the consequences too much, so it's really amazing here. But Fraulein, if you do want to play two, that's again okay. I'm just playing one of them because of I guess space issues here. Of course, we can't forget about 3 copies here of Ash Blossom. Ash is definitely a really important card that is still one of the top hand traps in this particular format, in every format really, and on top of that, it's also a zombie card which complements really well with the deck. Don't forget the fact that she is also a level 3 tuner, so together with the Fraulein, who is a level 5, you could actually go into a level 8 synchro pretty easily. But you also have to keep in mind that with Zombie, you could go into level 8 synchros quite easily in this particular deck. And of course, to end things off with monsters, we're playing 2 copies here of Nibiru, just a great disruptor for your opponent, and this is something that is my own personal choice to add in. Not many people would actually play Nibiru in a zombie deck, but you know what, I don't mind. Now onto the spells, we're playing 3 copies here of Zombie World. It is definitely one of our most crucial cards. I would not recommend you play less than 3 copies of it. It is definitely something that you always want to have on the board, and anybody who knows anything about zombies, even if they're not playing it, would actually know that it should be destroyed. So what that means is, if you're going up against an opponent who knows how zombies operate, then they're going to work their hardest to actually get rid of your zombie world from the field so that you lose the advantage here. As a result, I want to have 3 copies just in case they destroy 1 or 2 copies of it, not to mention the fact that it also increases consistency alongside the Banshee that's already in our deck. For a lot of really good staples for the deck, we're playing Called by the Grave, we're playing the Monster Reborn, we're playing Mind Control, we're playing Foolish Burial. Now the unfortunate thing is that in the most recent ban list, Called by the Grave, again, it didn't come off the ban list, which is definitely, you know, it's quite sad, but I really hope that in the upcoming ban list in March, we'll actually have this come back to 3. Now of course, given we're playing a zombie deck, given we're playing a dark deck, we are definitely going to be playing 2 copies here of Super Polymerization. Definitely one of the most important cards to actually allow you to go into your Predaplant monsters and also your Dragon Necro Nether Soul Dragon. 2 copies of Twin Twisters. Sometimes we have cards that we just want to ditch to the graveyard, like a Mizuki or a Gozuki, maybe even a Banshee, maybe even Glow Up Bloom. We have plenty of options to actually put in the graveyard, so Twin Twisters works its best, given that it could also destroy 2 cards specifically as well, so that's very nice. For a bit of deck thinning options, we're also playing the Upstart Goblin, and of course the Terraforming to get to our field spell a lot quicker. With the Terraforming, the Banshees, and the 3 copies of the Zombie World, you definitely should have no trouble actually establishing your board really early on in the game, as well as Upstart Goblin also allowing you to play pretty much a 39 card deck. For a bit of extension, we're also playing the 2 copies of Book of Life. Book of Life is a really nice card to also banish off cards from your opponent's graveyard as well, so I think it's that added bonus that is definitely quite nice for the deck as well. And the fact that it's specifics to zombies, it makes it not so broken to the point where it would be hit by the ban list. I highly doubt that it would ever be hit by the ban list, but I guess we'll just have to see in future formats. For now, I'm playing 2 copies of it and I think it's brilliant. To end things off with traps, we're only playing 2 cards here, and we're actually just playing the 2 copies of the Shiranui style Swallow Slash. This is essentially an Icarus attack but for zombie decks, with the addition that you could also just get rid of or banish one of your Shiranui monsters from your deck. So if you wanted to play additional Shiranui monsters to maximize their engine, then by all means go ahead, but we're obviously just going to be getting rid of our Solitaire. And you know, Solitaire kind of has 2 purposes. It will act as your quick way to get into your Uni-Zombie, but once you've already gone through your Uni-Zombies, then the Solitaire doesn't really have much of a purpose anymore. So instead, what you could do is deck thin by getting rid of it via the Swallow Slash, which is definitely quite amazing. Not to mention, this being an Icarus attack for zombies is just something I absolutely love. Alright, so on to the extra deck. We're playing one copy here of WilltheReaper, just a really nice card to go into as a utility with the Glow Up Bloom. We're also playing a few more utility cards like Phoenix and Cerberus because they get the job done. We're also playing one copy of Sucker. You could play a second copy if you wish, but with different spacing issues, I think I'm very happy with Sucker at one copy. We're also playing Ip Masquerina. Ip is just able to allow us to go into, I guess, further plays and link line. And of course, we can't forget about our Verte Anaconda. Finally, I could actually put this into an actual deck where it allows you to actually just search up for Super Poly, which is definitely really nice here. And to end things off with the Link monsters, we're playing the Crusadia Avramax, which is the boss monster of my choice here that I've chosen. Now you guys might be wondering, where is Needle Fiber or where is Halki Fibrax? Well, I don't actually have Halki Fibrax. However, if you guys actually want to play a Halki Fibrax, you could just take away the Link Karibo and put in your Halki Fibrax into the deck, and that would actually be my own recommendation. But as for the time being, I don't actually have the card, but if I did, then this was what I would actually do by taking out the Link Karibo to put it in. Next, for the synchros, we're playing here one copy of Red Eye Zombie Necro Dragon. Absolutely amazing card, however it only works best at 1, given that its effect is really nice and it's a nifty effect that is quite unique, but at the same time, playing 3 copies of it is absolutely overkill. There's no need for you to actually play that. 1 copy definitely suffices. As for level 8, we want to have a good variety of different cards. I have here a Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, I have here a Borrelord Savage Dragon, we have here Void Ogre Dragon, I have a Psyframe Lord Omega, and I also have a Shurunoi Shogun Saga as well. I've noticed that other decks have also played Beals, the Diabolic Dragon, so instead of playing the Red Dragon Archfiend, you could actually put in Beals instead, and that would also be quite a viable option. And finally, for fusions, we're playing one copy here of the Venom Fusion Dragon, and I'm also playing one copy of the Dragon Necro Nether Soul Dragon, which unfortunately I don't have yet, but I did actually organize a deal where I'll actually pick it up from someone, so I should have it soon. But for the time being, just imagine the 15th card being the Dragon Necro Nether Soul Dragon. But with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed this particular deck profile. If you did, then definitely drop a like and also share this video for anyone who might be interested. Leave your thoughts down below in the comments as well, as it really helps when you comment on any of my videos. And with that being said, if you guys want to see more videos just like this, then don't forget to subscribe. However, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time.